The original LeapFrog characters had been a staple of many of LeapFrog's products since the late 90s, where they originally appeared in stories and interactive toys. In 2003, the Frog family would debut in animation with Letter Factory. During this time, new characters would be added, and new videos were made featuring them. However, 2007 would be the year the final classic video was released, A Tad of Christmas Cheer. Instead of being a usual learning video, it was more of a It's a Wonderful Life parody about dealing with the arrival of a new family member. By the late 2000s, LeapFrog Enterprises was starting to change and progress with the times. In 2006, during production of A Tad of Christmas Cheer, longtime CEO Tom Kalinske stepped down from his position, and by that point, the children who grew up with Tad and Professor Quigley's adventures were now growing up. And since LeapFrog's products are primarily aimed at children ages 2 to 7, most of the kids had since moved on to other entertainment like Cartoon Network or Disney Channel. So I get why LeapFrog wasn't interested in continuing the original series. Unlike most children's shows from their demographic, the OG LeapFrog series wasn't a status quo series. It did rely on the audience to learn from the previous videos in order to watch and understand the next one. So there would be no point in continuing Tad's adventures without its original audience, unless there was some time gap. Which is why LeapFrog decided to reboot the whole universe in a brand new series, which is what I like to call the Learning Path series. Almost every character from the original was wiped out of existence, and the veterans who made the cut were both redesigned and reimagined. Leap stayed mostly the same, but Lily is now the same age as Tad. In fact, they're both twins now, instead of Lily being older than Tad. I guess they wanted to give Tad a partner that's around his age, which I understand considering how in the original series, most of the people he hung out with were either older than him or straight up adults. But if that were truly the case, then why not use Dot? Dot was a late addition to the original LeapFrog series, and I'm pretty sure she only existed just so Tad could have a friend his age. Both characters even starred in the LeapFrog baby series called Little Leaps. Honestly, there was no point in de-aging Lily if they already had a character who served the same purpose. Instead of the original storyline where Professor Quigley teaches Tad words and numbers throughout the many factories, the reboot is about Tad and Lily going on great big adventures with their Firefly buddy Edison, while also being taught words and numbers at the same time. But who knows, maybe I'm giving the reboot too much flack. Maybe it wasn't as bad as I remembered. Well, let's start off this new Learning Path series with the one that started it all. Let's go to school. This is actually the only video from the Learning Path series that I grew up watching, since this did come out around the same time I was starting kindergarten. I actually remembered wanting it for whatever reason, but my mom told me that it was like for babies or something, but I did eventually get it on my birthday though. We start the video off with Leap gathering a bunch of supplies. He eventually goes up to the treehouse where his twin siblings are. So far the animation is still solid, and the new art style is good in its own way. It's also nice to hear Cindy Robinson as Leap again, and I think Edison's voice is the same too. Anyways, Leap shows us to tell his siblings that they'll be starting school very soon.
For practicing your letters, you'll need this and these. Oops, sorry. And we can't forget your snacks. What are we supposed to do with all this stuff? I don't know.
Of course, the twins start having second thoughts about starting school, since not only does Lily not know her letters, but Tad doesn't know his numbers.
What if school's not any fun? What if I have to go to the bathroom? I don't think I'm ready for school. Me either.
Edison pops out of Tad's backpack, wondering what all the commotion is about. But the twins tell him that they're nervous about going to school, to which Edison gives them a pep talk.
And it's okay to be excited and even a little nervous about tomorrow. It's normal when you're starting something new. Here's your little secret. Everyone gets nervous sometimes. And if you think you're nervous, just wait till you see how nervous your classroom is.
Edison decides to take them to the school, so the twins could get an idea of what school will be like for them. They do this with the magic green rock that teleports them to the school via the Learning Path. Each video in the Learning Path series includes a reoccurring sequence that plays when the trio are about to go on an adventure. The song itself has a great instrumental and has decent lyrics, but man, the characters' voices were not made for singing, I could tell you that. They all arrive at the school, which seems to be empty, since even though the doors were most likely unlocked, there are no staff or teachers present, or at least shown on screen. Instead, the twins get all their learning by talking inanimate objects. I get they want to make it more entertaining for kids by having inanimate objects, but I feel like it would have been better if they at least had a teacher or principal present. That way, they have one main person telling Tad and Lily about the benefits of being at school. Maybe Professor Quigley would have filled in that role. So now we start to advance into the plot. Lily goes to the book section where all the books are nervous about how the kids will react to them. Lily tells them how she loves stories and how her brother Leap reads her every day before nap time, which not only calms the books down, but now they want Lily to read them. The only problem is, you guessed it, she doesn't know how to read.
Excuse me? Pardon me?
Oh, hey, you stepped on my footnote.
Sorry. To read, you just need to know about the letters and the sounds they make. Really? Right here on me left nut.
So the ABC book comes to the rescue, and she sings a song about all 26 letters and how they sound.
W says like wig. X says x like x. Exit.
Okay, I don't blame them for using exit as an example for the letter X, since after all, does anything even start with X? But couldn't they just use an X-ray as an example? Cause that's what they did in Letter Factory.
I had no idea letters were so much fun.
Yeah, fun. We better go see what kind of fun Tad is up to.
Thanks, guys. And don't worry, the kids are gonna just love when the teacher reads you. Yeah! And I can't wait to help all the new students learn to read all by themselves.
Thanks, Lily.
See you tomorrow.
We'll be waiting. Bye-bye.
Meanwhile, Tad opens a package containing numbered blocks. Of course, like everyone else in the classroom, they're alive as well. Like the books, the blocks are nervous about school. They're worried because they never had any experience being played with. Which makes sense given that they did come from a package. They must have came brand new from an Amazon seller or something. Tad would like to help them out, but he doesn't know how to count. So Tad is now in a musical number about counting, sung by a block with the voice of Droopy.
Here we go now. I want to count with you, 'cause counting gives me a thrill. And while I count with you, we'll be climbing this hill. Here we go now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Watch me climb. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
After that, Tad bumps into the shelf where the toy animals are on display. He puts all the babies in the wrong species, so it's up to Edison to sing a song about which species belong in which family. This is probably the only song that I would actually consider to be terrible. Again, Edison's voice is not meant for singing. At least Mr. and Mrs. Frog made a cameo in the Frog family portrait. This is probably the last time we ever saw them.
Recess!
I can't understand a word either of you are saying, because you are both speaking at the same time.
Sorry. Stop that.
In school, we all take turns speaking. So, if you want to share your thoughts and ideas, raising your hand will tell the teacher that you have something to say. Ah, much better.
Actually, this is quite helpful information. I think in a school environment, it is important to make sure everyone gets a turn, and raising your hand for a question or comment is much more polite. So I'll give the video credit for mentioning such important school advice.
Yes, little boy?
Excuse me, but what is recess?
Oh, you're going to love recess. It's a special break when all the children go outside to go to the bathroom.
I'm really good at that. Me too. What are we waiting for?
So the trio played outside during recess, and we get a scene of them playing on different equipment, with a little bit of Edison torture porn here and there. Back at the classroom, the calendar sings them a song explaining what a calendar is. They also sing about the days of the week, the months of the year, and the seasons too. This is probably the song that stuck in my head the most. So Tad and Lily are confident enough about attending school now. The twins and Edison go home after the bell rings, and thanks to them, the inanimate objects are also ready for the big day tomorrow as well. So that was Let's Go to School in a nutshell. I praised it for its decent acting, as well as giving its target audience a good idea on what school will be like for them. However, I dislike the fact that there wasn't a teacher or staff member present to help out Tad and Lily. If they would have made Professor Quigley or even a new character outright act as the main teacher who helps the twins, with the inanimate objects being the secondary helpers, it would have given its target audience a better idea on what the classroom environment is like. Honestly, this video was an okay start in this new reboot. Despite some moments that felt like it was talking down to its audience, at least its heart is still in the right place. Maybe things will get better when we watch Math Adventure to the Moon. Right?
Mom and Dad are going to be so proud of us.
Dad? Lily? Why are you up so early? School doesn't start for another 2 hours.
Oh, we know. We just don't want to be late for our first day of school. It's going to be awesome!
Math Adventure to the Moon came out a year later in 2010. I remember seeing a promo for it on the Let's Go to School DVD, but that was a video I never saw as a kid in full. We start the video off with Tad grabbing a bunch of toys from his closet, but he doesn't know how much he grabbed since even after counting to 20 with the talking blocks in the last video, he still doesn't know how to count.
1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh, you counted 4 twice, Tad.
You're not a genius. You're not a genius.
Edison appears out of nowhere, seeing what the twins are up to. Since they have troubles understanding math, Edison shows them a store through his telescope. They sing about how any everyday situation is considered math, like knowing how much to pay for something or knowing what time it is. The song's okay, but it does have a great instrumental. Tad and Lily tell Edison that they need a cool collection of things for show and tell. They both saw a space poster and settled on wanting to find a collection of moon rocks. So the twins and Edison use their magic green rock to teleport to an island with a rocket ship. However, they can only bring 10 items to the ship due to limited room. After they finish counting, the trio are now able to lift off into outer space. But not just yet, they have to now put in a shape pattern in order to actually lift off.
Distance to Moon, 400,000 kilometers.
That's like going all the way around the Earth 10 times.
It's a good thing we packed a snack.
Huh? No time to snack. There's so much to do. We've got to keep an eye on all these dials and gauges. See? There's a clock for telling time. The fuel gauge tells us that our fuel tanks are full.
What? Why did Edison's tone change so drastically? Imagine if I was recording this video right now, and all of a sudden my tone changed for no apparent reason. I think whoever was editing the voice recordings must have spliced 2 separate takes of the same dialogue that had 2 different tones. Also, I think the audio quality is different as well. They sing a song about counting by 1 to 10, the next verse had them counting by 2s, and the next verse after that has them counting by 5s, and the last verse has them counting by 10s.
Superb skip counting, Tad and Lily.
Thanks. Now we really must be close.
Distance to Moon, 93,000 kilometers.
Yay!
Behind us.
Behind us? Uh-oh.
Are we there yet?
No.
They went so fast that they already passed the moon. This causes Edison to have one of his usual panic attacks, but unlike the last time, he does try to at least calm himself down. The space storm shows up and the trio try to escape from it. Shortly after they escape, they crash into an undisclosed planet which conveniently has air.
Isn't that convenient?
Not only that, but Lily tells Tad that the crystal rocks here are perfect for their assignment. As Tad was counting each rock to put in the ship, the 10th rock started to move. Lily discovers some bug that was carrying the rock. The bugs thank them for helping them dig up some extra crystals, which the bugs are using to build themselves a village. But uh-oh, the space storm is back, and is madder than ever. Edison suggests that they run to the spaceship and leave, but the twins chose to help the bugs instead. Now they sing a song about how you should put things in the right spots. The instrumental itself is really good, but the lyrics themselves are a little more on the lazier side.
Put the red ones with the red ones. Put the blue ones with the blue ones.
Put the chartreuse ones over there.
We work so much better when we compare and group together all the colors, sizes, and shapes. We're gonna
After their job is done, the trio go back to the spaceship. However, they're having troubles blasting off. This is because their fuel is low. Fortunately, the crystals they brought can be used to fuel the ship. Since Tad and Lily are now able to properly count, they're able to add enough fuel to escape from the space storm. They arrive back to Earth, where they can now use the crystals for their show and tell assignment, but ultimately they decide to use snails instead, and the video ends. Overall, Math Adventure to the Moon is a big improvement over its predecessor. Not only are the songs much better, but even the characters' singing voices are more tolerable here. I also appreciate it for being unique from the classic series video Math Circus. However, Math Circus focuses more on addition and subtraction, while Math Adventure focuses more on counting. Besides a few errors I noticed while watching, the only downside would be how slow the pacing is in a few scenes, but considering it's trying to teach you about counting, I understand why it had to be a bit slow. Honestly, both videos aren't terrible or anything, but they do lack the flair that the original videos had. Something about the writing in the Learning Path series isn't quite as strong as it was in the original series. Either there isn't much humor, or they don't do as effective a job at teaching what it's supposed to teach. The Learning Path videos I watched so far don't feel quite as unique. The classic videos were memorable in that they explained each subject as if they were made in a factory, which I think made it unique from other educational kids videos, but since this is not what the reboot is, it feels more bland by comparison. I also think it was just unnecessary to reboot the old characters to begin with. Was there anything wrong with the way the characters looked before 2009? I also don't like that they made Lily and Tad twins. It just doesn't make sense for them to de-age Lily to Tad's age. I mean, they could have replaced her with Dot and her character would have been exactly the same. Though I do have a fun little theory that could explain why the reboot is so different, despite a few holes. If we were to assume that the Learning Path series is indeed canon to the original LeapFrog series, then what if the Tad and Lily we see in the reboot are actually the baby twins we see at the end of A Tad of Christmas Cheer? That actually wouldn't make sense on paper, though there are a few holes to this theory. First off, Lily Jr. is a much lighter shade of green than the twin girl from the Christmas video. Not only that, but in Let's Go to School, we do see the Frog family portrait like I mentioned earlier. If this theory were true, then why aren't Tad and Lily Sr. in the photo? Well, in order for that to work, let's go with the assumption that the parents divorced or separated. I can't really imagine Mr. and Mrs. Frog doing something like that, so this is more of a stretch than anything else. But what if sometime after the events of A Tad of Christmas Cheer, Mr. and Mrs. Frog chose to separate? Nothing ill will or anything, but rather they just wanted different things in life. This would mean that Tad and Lily Sr. stayed with their dad and continued exploring the factories with Professor Quigley, while their mom moved to a new house and took Leap and the twins with them. Their mom renames the twins Tad and Lily as a way to forget about the split. Let me know what you think about this theory I made up. Do you think it has some credibility to it, or is it just some dumb little theory? You decide. But I will give the reboot credit though. At least the videos we watched are much more unique, unlike the next two, but that's a story for another time. Hopefully this video will keep you all busy until I decide to make another LeapFrog video.